I do, but not by believing in a lasting peace. Look at Windholm. All it took was one...
Down. How is that peace?
It can be peaceful for the people. There will always have to be someone, leaders, your circle, who will have to remain vigilant.
That's just how it is.
Huh?
So long.
It worked, huh? I told you my beast would do the trick. So, did you find whatever you came here for?
Answers. Yes.
Lovely. So, I've been thinking, do you happen to need a creature handler for that military unit of yours?
Weren't you planning to go back to Wolfgar?
Eventually, yes, but truth be told, that mission of yours has got me intrigued, and I'm pretty sure your unit could benefit from my skills, and also... Nah, never mind.
Also what?
Well, maybe that mission of yours is a good way to, you know, redeem myself.
Well, I don't see why not. As long as you follow my orders.
But I will, as long as you don't ask me to eat puppies. My men will stay here for a while longer. I've already had a chat with the villagers. I think we could help each other. I'll be ready when you give the word. Huh?
So long.
Huh?
So long. I'm listening.
If it isn't the puny paleskin.
I have to be going.
Yes, yes, do as you please. Now, back to work.
Yes?
Farewell.
Good day, General.
Go ahead. Out of the way. Armors and shields. Everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords. You're an adventurer, aren't you? Come take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest.
Time to file a report. I should request an audience with the Queen.
This way. Yes.
General.
This. I'd like to learn more about your craft. Mysticism.
Such as?
You mentioned that there is more than just one reality.
That is correct.
How come I haven't heard about this?
Probably because the other realities don't affect us. I mean, think about it. Yes, there are millions of other realities out there. Some very similar to our world, others where the principal kinds or the guardians don't even exist. But how does this impact us as individuals? Yes, the scholarly aspect is exciting, but that's about it. I think that's also the conclusion the Hibernians came to eventually. They extensively researched the matter for hundreds of years, and then just stopped.
What do we know about the reality the God of Light comes from?
Well, you heard the Aliani chieftain, didn't you? Apparently it's not a reality at all, but a place between the worlds. The City of Light. It's a fascinating thought, really.
If the God of Light can enter other realities, couldn't we too?
In theory, yes. In practice, however, I doubt that organisms such as ourselves would survive such an attempt. We talked about this, but the Hibernians spent a lot of time trying to transport living beings into other realities through minuscule fractures in the veil. However, everybody they attempted to send through died instantaneously.
It's ironic if you think about it, isn't it? There's an infinite number of worlds right behind the veil, yet we're stuck on the other side of the looking glass.
You said that you can feel souls. How is that possible?
Hard to describe. Though I think it's an ability every mage could learn. I've always had it. Just imagine, the sea. The sound of the waves. If you live near the shore, you'll probably become insensitive to it eventually, to the point where you can't even hear it anymore. It's similar with the tapestry of souls. Most people have the ability to sense it, but they've grown numb to the stimuli. That never happened for me.
So, what you're saying is you can hear the presence of a soul? A flame?
Plural, but yes. To stay within the metaphor, when the vanishing first happened, it was as though somebody dropped a stone within a perfectly unmarred sea. It caused ripples. I know that may sound a bit vague, but it's hard to explain to somebody who has never seen the tapestry at all.
What does my soul look like?
Strong. Bright. White, somehow. It's a solid flame. Not as impressive as the flame of someone like Tahar, but nonetheless remarkable.
Let me ask you something else. What's your take on our companions?
Why?
Because I value your opinion.
Sorry, but I don't like these kind of conversations. I'm sure you're capable of forming your own opinions.
How come you don't have a dark elven accent?
My accent? Oh, I lost it ages ago. When I moved to that remote village where I conducted my studies, they had their own dialect.
Could you tell me more about yourself?
What is it with all the questions, General Erev? I don't mind, but I don't really see the point.
I'm just curious.
Well, ask.
What made you leave the Dark Elven Empire?
Long story. I don't want to talk about it.
How is Dark Elven culture different from Nortandian culture?
In just about every aspect. Dark Elves value the collective over the individual, hardship over pleasure, self-control over displays of emotion.
What do you think about it?
Good question. I used to be an avid advocate of Dark Elven culture, but now that I've lived abroad for a while, I can see why most foreigners demonize us. Slavery, sacrifice, demonic incantations. It's easy to write the Exalted Father off as the epitome of evil. The truth is, however, somewhat more complex. Calabroc's system may be brutal, but it works. Better than most societies, for that matter.
But at what cost?
Society always means compromise. I don't think the Exalted Father rejoices in the suffering some of his servants have to endure. The only reason it seems evil to you is because you come from a different culture that values different ideals.
Is there anything you miss?
I can't say. Ever since I left, I haven't really looked back.
How do you feel about being in exile?
I don't know. I suppose part of me misses having a sense of home. Roots, but there's no point dwelling on the past. It is how it is.
Let me ask you something else. What was your profession back when you still lived in Lar?
Intelligence.
What?
Right, you wouldn't know. Dark Elven children are taken from their birth parents at the age of 4 and are given a concoction that wipes most of their memory. Then they are sent into the communes, giant buildings where they live until they come of age, with hundreds of other children who were born the same year. These are their brothers and sisters, whereas the Exalted Father and his queen become their parents from the time they enter the commune until they come of age.
The Exalted Father becomes their actual father. That's mostly symbolic, isn't it?
Symbolic, but deeply imprinted into their brains.
Your son didn't grow up in a commune, though, did he?
No. We lived in a village near the border where laws weren't that strict. Also, being influential, as I was back then, allows different options when it comes to the upbringing of your child.
Figures. They wipe their memory? In other words, Dark Elves don't know their birth parents?
No. And reaching out to your child while it's still in the communes is a punishable crime. You'd also be wasting your time, because once your child has been given the concoction, you're no more than a stranger to him or her anyway.
To what end, though?
To weed out the weak from the strong, and to determine which caste the child is most suitable for. Intelligence, strength, endurance, etc.
And the parents agree to this?
Well, they don't bake cakes and throw confetti to mark the occasion, but yes, they agree. The communes are an inseparable part of Dark Elven culture, and, albeit at a cost, they work. The communes provide every child with the same chance. That's more than can be said about Finon Mir or Nortanda culture.
Strength, intelligence, and endurance. So, Dark Elven society is divided into castes?
Yes, the entirety of which constitutes the realm. Speech rules, strength fights, and wisdom preaches.
And what happens to the weak?
Depends. Most of them just end up in endurance, doing farmer's work. Others die.
So they're raised and educated in the communes?
By the overseers, yes. Though they don't intervene too much, apart from training and teaching them. The idea is to let the pack, the children of each generation, develop their own hierarchy and dynamics.
Throw them into a pit and see who comes out on top.
Well said.
Interesting. And you were assigned to the intelligence?
Correct.
What castes are there?
6. Strength, intelligence, speech, wisdom, endurance, and soul.
Strength is the army?
Army, city guard, and so on. Pretty much every job that requires muscle and knowing how to kill. Most Black Company mercenaries used to be members of the Strength before they changed professions.
Figures. What do members of the Wisdom do?
Preach. They devote their life to both Nor and the Exalted Father and spread his ideas.
Endurance?
Yes. The workers, farmers, and craftsmen. They do the simplest, but often the hardest and most important jobs. Not the truly demanding ones, though. Those are reserved for the slaves.
What's the purpose of the speech?
Politics, mostly. Or bureaucracy. Like Ambassador Jarrus here in Greykeep.
What does the soul embody?
The leadership. The Exalted Father is a member of the Soul, as are most nobles and people of influence. You're not really chosen for the Soul, though. You need to be born into it. In other words, unless your parents are members of the Soul, chances are next to naught that you'll be raised into it. I mean, there are exceptions, but they are rare.
What's the purpose of the intelligence? To study magic?
To gather knowledge and explore magic, yes. Did you ever marvel at all the constructs, demons, and creatures that make the Exalted Father's army such an impressive force? It wouldn't exist without the intelligence. Certainly, spending most of your life in dank laboratories may not be as glamorous as fighting for glory on the battlefield, doing nifty politics and attending conclaves, or holding masses in front of hundreds of lost souls. But if it weren't for the intelligence, the Exalted Father's empire wouldn't be what it is today. Not at all.
I can imagine. And your mission was to study the nature of life and death?
And the nature of reality, yes. I have to say, if there is one thing I miss about the time before my exilement, it was the Dark Elves' appreciation for magic and knowledge. Not even Kalea's universities can hold a candle to the sanctum of the intelligence in Karlabrock.
Well,
Sure.
back in Lar, you said that you lost your family to the Bloodburn. Would you... Well, would you like to talk about it?
No. I'm sorry, but I don't see how my personal life is relevant to our mission. I am here because the God of Light is a threat to us all, and I want to see the matter dealt with as swiftly as possible.
Don't you feel easier around people you know?
Of course I do. However, I'm not here to feel easy, but to stop the God of Light from devouring this world.
Well, if you ever feel the need to talk about it, I'm here.
I don't think that will happen, but I appreciate the sentiment. If it's conversation you want, why don't we talk about your past instead? Judging by those nightmares you have, and according to the rumors, your waters also run deep.
Wait, how do you know about my nightmares?
Well, I'm a light sleeper myself. And it doesn't take a dreamweaver to connect those shouts that came from your tent just before we arrived in La and a pair of bloodshot eyes to your ominous past.
If by my past you're talking about that incident in Imperia, I have to disappoint you. I don't remember it.
Oh, that's fine. I wasn't interested in the details anyway. I only care about the result. You made a tragic mistake and other people paid the price for it. In the end, that's what it comes down to, isn't it?
I guess. What are you getting at?
I merely want your opinion on a question I haven't found an answer to. Say a person makes a terrible mistake. How can that person be sure he or she won't do it again if confronted with an identical situation?
You can never be sure. Every situation is a new trial.
I think so too. Frankly, I think most people are too quick to forgive themselves for their mistakes. It's almost as if they believe that their apologies and regret undo them altogether. They don't. I know it sounds dramatic, but if an innocent ever suffers under your actions, it leaves a stain on your soul. And that stain stays for the rest of your life, which is good, if you ask me. Some sins don't deserve forgiveness, and some sinners don't deserve absolution.
So, what exactly are you saying? That I am beyond absolution?
I don't know what you did, so I can't say. I guess what it boils down to is that people who messed up, whoever they may be, would do best not to forget that, and be particularly aware of their actions and decisions.
You don't believe in second chances, then?
Second chance as in a chance to wash away your guilt? No. The people who suffered from your mistake didn't get it, did they? So why should you? All that being said, I do approve of the Queen's decision to make you General of the Wolf Guard. I even see why she did it. It's better to have someone who knows their demons lead us than someone who doesn't. Now let's get back to the task at hand, shall we? General.
Did you hear back from the Black Company's leader yet? We still need to find information on those rogue sleepers.
Not yet, but that doesn't surprise me. The man likes to take his time. I suggest we deal with the other matters first.
Did you hear back from the Black...
Not yet, but that doesn't surprise me.
I'll be going.
Sure.
What is it? Stay close.
And that's it. My people believe that once Jakku has been set into motion, nothing can be done to stop it. I intend to prove them wrong.
That is commendable. So, according to your father, Sheogded has chosen 4 corrupted to lead it into the world. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he, the Aliani, that is, believe that even stopping these corrupted cannot stop the prophecy from coming true.
Yes. You cannot stop the lightning when you hear the thunder.
I don't understand. If only a corrupted can open the gate, why wouldn't neutralizing all of them stop the prophecy?
It's hard to understand if you're not Aliani. I may be wrong, but it seems to me that you outsiders believe strongly in the idea of changing one's fate through actions. We Aliani believe that us Shaperkin are ultimately powerless. We're subject to patterns, forces beyond our understanding. Love, disease, birth, death. We have no control over these things. And the most dominant of those patterns is Jakku. Trying to resist Jakku is like trying to resist death. You can struggle and struggle, but ultimately you're subject to its nature. So the best you can do is to accept it.
What an inspirational way to view the world.
As I said, I intend to prove them wrong. You Northandians have proven twice that the omens of Jakku can be broken. You defeated Lacane and stopped the plague. In my opinion, that's also our best chance. We need to identify the remaining 3 corrupted and neutralize them. Make sure they can't serve Sheogded any longer.
And how do we identify them?
If I may, we already know one of them, don't we? The leader of those rogue dark elves, the woman with the mask.
Well, there's no way to be sure, but after what you've told me, yes, very likely so.
We will assume she is one of them for the time being. That leaves us with 2 more to find, and 3 more to neutralize. Very well. This is more than I had hoped for.
So, we need to look for other cults that worship Sheogded.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. A corrupted might not even know he or she serves Sheogded's purpose. With that masked woman and Rondar Lacane, it was obvious. It might not be for the other 2.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that, according to the scrolls, some corrupted don't even know they are. And that the ways in which they serve Jakku are diverse. Wars, famines, maybe even something as simple as being at the right place at the right time. It's an enigma.
That doesn't make it any easier. Even if all this about Jakku and Corrupted is true, how are we gonna find the other 2? Kaiawu said it himself. Even with the masked woman, we can't be certain.
And therein lies the problem.
Actually, I might know a way, but I need to give it some thought first.
Do that. I will think on the matter too. In the meantime, there is still work to be done before we can restore the mosaic. Let me know once you've looked into all the trails.
Fair enough. Let's see if...
General, is there anything I can help you with?
I wish to talk to Her Majesty.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Her Majesty is occupied.
So long.
Tiara's light, General.
Yes? What is it?
Yes, General?
Hey, just checking in. Wanted to see how you're doing.
Fine. Thank you.
Fine? That's it? If something's wrong, you can tell me.
No, it's not that. I never thought I'd see beyond the Howling Steps. It's strange.
What do you mean?
I knew it would be different, but not this different. Like here in Greyfell, there are so many people crammed together. The walls feel like a basket collecting and trapping everything. And it's so loud. How does anyone stand it?
It can feel confined at times, but that's when I like to get out of the city for a while. Remember what fresh air is like.
You forget what fresh air is like? Ancestors' mercy.
I imagine the Howling Steppes must be very different. What's it like living there?
Nothing like this.
That's extremely vague. You're avoiding the question.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I'm not used to conversing with outsiders. It's hard to know what to say and what not to.
We're not that different from you, actually. Aside from the preference for walls.
Yes, I see your point. It's just that we're taught from an early age to only trust our own people. Outsiders are to be avoided.
Is this related to what your father said? That outsiders only bring suffering to the world?
Yes, although it's not personal. He means that outsiders haven't renounced violence the way the Aliani have.
So the Aliani are better than everyone else?
I didn't say that, but we're not driving the cart off the cliff, so to speak.
Were we the first outsiders you met?
No, others have come before. They all received my father's warm welcome.
What made us different?
You needed information about Sheogdet. And, to be honest, we needed the help. It was, as my people call it, a Velden trade. Fair.
In that case, I'm grateful you put your trust in me.
Well, the truth is, General, I don't know you. You seem to mean well, so far, but I'd be a fool to believe in words alone.
I helped your people deal with the bandits and the plague. Isn't that enough?
You did so out of need. That alone does not define your intentions. Anyway, you must be busy. Let us speak again some other time.
What do we have
General.
here? Did you hear back from the Black?
Good of you to ask. Yes, I have. And he agreed to meet us. We can make for Calabrook as soon as you want. I was... Oh, never mind.
What is it?
I wanted to ask you for a favor. There's someone I want to pay a visit to when we get to Calabrook. Someone I have a score to settle with.
Who? What did he do?
She. Remember how I told you that I lost my family to the Bloodburn? I just found out that... Well, I have reason to believe that their death could have been avoided. By her. I promise you that there'll be no bloodshed. At least, not if I can help it.
All right, but we must be quick about it. We can't afford to lose time.
I know. Thank you. Let me know when we can set out.
Out of the way.
Looking for potions and scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need. Come again. May Tiara bless your path. Axes, daggers, swords, everything for the wary traveler. Good choice.
Over here.
adventurer, aren't you? Come, take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest. A fair offer.
You'll find
What's
just what
this?
you need. Well bargained. The best wares from Kalea to Northander. Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn. Farewell.
Nothing new today.
For 5 days, you ride under an overcast sky. One night, sitting by the campfire, Rera offers you and your companions a sip of brandy. She tells you about her life as a privateer, her return to Windwall, and about Ericus's rise to power. The worst about people like him, she says, her eyes drift off, almost as though she is talking to herself, is that they claim to speak for all of us, but he doesn't. We'll make sure he understands that.
So, there's a part I haven't told you. While it's true that nobody will question that letter once we're inside, those bridge guards have been briefed. They know who they're expecting.
That's bad.
Not necessarily. They don't know what Zverak Yor looks like, but they know his reputation.
Which is?
That he is the most unlikable, self-entitled person to have ever walked the face of Io. In other words, you'll have to act the part and they'll let us through.
Oh.
I'm listening.
Uh-huh. At once. Aye.
Hold it right there. No gravel eaters past this point.
Servant, there are 2 gnomes obstructing my path. One short, one fat. Both ugly.
Just 2 insignificant guards, your most brightly beaming brilliance.
What was that? All right, that...
Wait. Are you from Imperia? I recognize that accent.
I have a letter of passage.
A letter of... Wait. Are you the...
He isn't. He doesn't fit the description at all. Now, I suggest you tell me where you got this letter from.
Wait. We'll pay.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you need to speak a little louder.
Rara, can you?
Sure.
Ah, now I understand. Go on through. But just so you know, this never happened.
Of course not. Thanks.
Go ahead.
Sure.
That could have gone better.
Just pay me back when we get to Greykeep. Hold it. That's Arrakis. Seems as if he's given another one of his speeches.
We might want to give it a listen. The more we learn about this man, the better.
Good point.
I say, no more! For centuries, those gravel eaters have kept us weak. Treaties, alliances, conclaves, all they did was try to put us in shackles. But no, of course that wasn't enough. They also took it upon themselves to poison our culture. And damn, how they succeeded. Look around, brothers. Look at what our once so proud nation has become. Dwarves mixing with surface folk, breeding offspring whose existence alone is an insult to our ancestors. Women, the goddesses of life, wielding axes, making laws, when they should be ensuring the survival of our people. Dwarves who don't know which end of the axe to hold. We've become a joke, brothers. A disgrace. And do you know what I'm seeing? 5 years from now, I see these halls deserted. Nothing left but the wind, the rats, and a handful of fragile creatures whose only purpose is to mine ore for the rich surface mill. I see crypts filled with the corpses of dwarves. Dwarves who did not die in battle, but from the degeneration the gravel eaters brought upon us. I see the end of a people whom Nihalf once chose to rule all the mountains of Io. But we won't take it. We won't let them poison our minds, take our pride, force us into servitude. We will show them our true face. And oh, brothers, they won't like it. No more treaties, no more bargains, no more outsiders within these sacred halls. Only the sons of granite, proud and strong, axes honed, baring their teeth to anybody who dares to challenge us. Are you with me? Yeah! What are you, gravel eaters? I want to hear you shout it at the top of your lungs. Fill every corner of these sacred halls with your voices. Shout it like the proud men that I see before me. Gravel no longer. We are of granite. Are you with me? Yeah! Gravel no more. We are granite. Gravel no more. We are granite. Then go and make me proud.
Impressive, isn't it? Regardless of how much I hate this guy, I have to hand it to him. He knows how to make a speech.
He's lying. Nobody is forcing the dwarves into servitude.
Tell that to the mob. Though... Yeah.
What?
Arrakis may present himself as a saint, but I'm sure he has skeletons in his closet. We tried to dig up dirt in him before, but never found anything. If we get the chance to search inside the castle walls, well, That's a different story. In other words, we should keep an eye out for anything interesting once we're inside the fortress. I doubt it'll help convince those oafs that they're following the wrong shepherd, but it's worth a try.
Lead on then.
Ah, just the kind of person I was looking for.
Excuse me?
You know how to fight, eh? More importantly, how to survive.
Yes.
Just what I thought. I have a proposal for you then. One that'll make us both legends. You ever heard of Wyvern Fire?
Wyvern Fire? You mean the third hottest flame on Io?
Bingo. They say that everything forged by Wyvern Fire is 50 times as strong as its conventional counterpart. Well, maybe not 50 exactly, but a lot. You get the idea. Here's the thing. I actually got my hands on a Wyvern. And you know what? Its flame melted my whole damn forge. A mature Wyvern's fire is too hot to handle. But a hatchling, that'd be more manageable. You get me a Wyvern egg, I'll craft you Wyvern fire weapons, armor, the works. You'll be legendary. What do you say?
You have a deal.
Aye, good on you. Come back when you have the egg.
What's in this for you?
I told you. This will make us both legends. The items I craft are of no use sitting around my workshop. It needs to be used, appreciated. Deeds must be done with them, stories told of them. The more renown is attached to your name, the more renown is attached to my name. And what greater achievement is there than to become a legend?
Where am I supposed to get a wyvern egg?
Well, I heard talk of a wyvern breeding ground out in the scorching desert. You could look there.
Hold on. Wyverns are extremely hostile, especially when breeding. You want us to risk our lives for this?
I mean, I did ask if you're the surviving type.
I'll be going.
Aye. Be seeing you.
What's this? What do you need?
Surfacer! Surfacer! Over here!
You wanted to speak to me?
Aye, my friend, I did. You're an outsider, huh? What a refreshing sight. The guards aren't letting many of you in these days. Allow me to introduce myself. My name's Gorag Rockrim, representative of the Historical Society. If you're feeling particularly philanthropic, I have a proposition for you.
I'm listening.
The Society has a keen interest in acquiring old moon silver artifacts. Our ancestors spread all across Fiara, leaving pieces of history behind. We'd like to bring those pieces home. For every artifact you bring me, I will compensate you accordingly. How's that sound?
Why do you want these moon silver artifacts?
All this talk we've been having about traditions and culture. We see it as an opportunity. People are interested in our history now more than ever, and these artifacts are part of that legacy. We want to start a museum where all dwarves can view and appreciate our history. This collection would be part of that. Besides, you see that statue they're working on? If Arrakis gets his hand on those artifacts, he'll just melt them down like they're ingots. He has no appreciation for their true value.
I'd like to know more about your society.
Ah, yes, of course. We were founded with a generous patronage from the late King Rorik, hence our name. Our mission is to preserve and promote our history.
Who's funding your society now that the king is gone?
We have a few private donations, but it is a challenge. All this political unrest has also thrown the future of our society into doubt. That's why it is our hope that these moon silver artifacts will spur more interest in our efforts.
Is this somehow connected to this giant statue High Hierophant Arrakis is building?
What? Because these artifacts are made of moon silver? Good gracious, no. I'd rather cut off my own beard than let him melt these artifacts for his bloody statue. But that probably isn't a conversation we should be having here. Now, you were saying?
We'll keep an eye out for any artifacts. If I find anything, they're yours.
Thank you, Surfacer. Nihalf give you luck on your search.
Just give the word.
Welcome back. Did you find any moon silver artifacts?
Here's what I found.
Ah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Surfacer. Compensation, as agreed, and in addition, I'd like you to have this. The Society is most grateful. Let me know if you find anything else on your travels.
Sir, could I have a minute of your time?
What do you need?
You look like a worldly person, a bold adventurer even. Not many of those around here these days. Anyway, I've decided to leave this grim place and seek my luck on the road. So I was thinking, could you maybe test my adventuring knowledge and see if I'm up to the challenge?
I'm a soldier, not an adventurer. I wouldn't even know where to start.
But you've traveled the world. You've seen what's out there. Just see if I could theoretically manage situations you get yourself in while traveling.
Why are you so eager to risk your life like this? I promise you, life on the road isn't nearly as glamorous as the folk tales make it out to be.
However it is, it's better than staying in Windhall. I don't know if you've noticed, but this city isn't currently a friendly place for the dwarves like me.
She's right.
What you're asking for won't make one bit of difference out on the road. Trust me.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for hearing me out anyway.
Aye.
Take a look around, see what you like. Come again. Hi, what you looking for? Oh, that'll do.
I'll catch up.
You'll find just what you need. Well bargained.
You know the way, right?
You got it.
Keep it up. What's this?
Well, you lot look a bit too old to join us. Besides, you're all filthy gravel eaters.
Join you? What are you talking about?
The young lads of Arrakis, of course. Our revolution's youth organization.
Get them while they're young, eh? The Exalted Father would have been proud.
I wouldn't say that at all. It's just a question of honest education, giving them the whole truth about our heritage. We are really proud of our activities and programs. I'd be happy to tell you about us. We have nothing to hide.
So tell me, how exactly do you plan to educate the youth?
It's all about pride, helping them realize that they don't have to cower and apologize for what they are.
And how are you going to help them with that?
First of all, we want to get them out there, meet other sons of Granite, and see how it feels to be their true self, unshackled from societal conventions and fear. And also, we need to give them access to the right sources. Scholars and intellectuals are good at pretending they are objective while protecting the old doctrine.
What would you replace it with?
The immortal knowledge of Arrakis, of course. In the current climate, only his words can be trusted. Shielding the next generation from all the deceit out there and sharing the wisdom of our leader is more than enough.
I was wondering, did you get a lot of sign-ups?
Oh yes. Our meetings didn't used to be popular at all. But now we're breaking attendance records every single time. I guess our youth just needed a bit more time to realize that it's okay to have pride in what they are.
Huh. Another time, okay? There's something I need to take care of.
Thievery, bloody thievery. Oh, beardless stonelickers. What are you looking at?
Sorry, I couldn't help but notice how upset you are. Do you mind if I asked you what's wrong?
What's wrong? It's bloody thievery is what it is. Them beardless dregs have no right to my stuff. Do you know how long it's been in my family? A long time.
Whoa, slow down. Who stole from you and what did they steal?
Knee half, balls, my hammer. Ever since that beardless gasbag took over Windhome, his stone lickers have been rounding up all the moon silver for that damn statue, including my family hammer. How's a smith supposed to work without his hammer?
I understand the sentimental value of your heirloom, but can't you use a different hammer for your work?
Oh, sure, I can use a different hammer. Why don't I give away my stuff for free, too, while I'm at it? That'd be all shite anyway.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was only a suggestion.
I will take your suggestion and shove it to the sky.
How was your hammer stolen?
Dust and stones, are you even listening?
They can do that?
You wouldn't believe how many gravelhead. And then when they get dwarves like me, the damn stone lickers hold you down while they ransack your home.
Sorry to hear that. I'll let you know if I find a moonsilver hammer.
Don't waste your time. It's long gone by now. Probably melted down for that damn statue. If those stone lickers ever come back, I'm setting their beards on fire.
Ugh, crap.
Can I help you?
Aye, that you can. My name's Herrick Grainblast. You look like a surfacer who gets around. And judging by the company you keep, have you perhaps been to the city of the Dark Elves? Calibrook?
We don't all live in Calibrook, you know.
Oh, my apologies, Dark One. I didn't mean for my eagerness to offend.
Why do you care if we've been to Calibrook?
Well, you see, my son, Idar, and his friend set out for the city nearly 2 moons ago. He was supposed to write me once he got there, but the letter never came. Dust and stones, I told him not to go. The surface is no place for a boy armed only with idealistic fantasies.